Hello friends, I am Mr. Sachin Kharade, Assistant Professor, Kekeva College of Agricultural Biotechnology, Nashik. Now going to deliver a topic on micropropagation of banana. So it is widely used technology for the in vitro plant propagation inside the India and the whole world. So, outline of my topic is what is micropropagation, stages of micropropagation, methods of micropropagation, advantages, disadvantages, and the conclusion. So, we will proceed step by step. So, first of all, we should know what is micropropagation. So, micropropagation is nothing but the plant propagation by in vitro techniques by application of nutritional and hormonal regime under the aseptic condition. So we can also call it as a clonal propagation. We know about the clone. Clone is nothing but the identical copies of offspring. So we can produce number of identical copies of specific plant by this technique. So in the year 1950, Penrich Campaign Stewart discovered the term micropropagation. So this word indicate micro means small part, or we can say small, and propagation means to produce a whole plant. So from a small part of plant or by the cell or by a tissue, we can produce a whole plantlet inside the aseptic condition. Use use of this technology is to commercialize an important plants such as a banana, pomegranate, sugarcane, some of the medicinal plant and some of the flowering plant which having the high economical values. So this micropropagation is again divided into number of stages. There may be 5 or 6 stages. So each and every stage having their own importance. So first stage is to initiate. First step is selection and preparation of mother plant. Second stage is the initiation of culture. Third stage is the multiplication of culture. Fourth stage is the rooting of culture, and fifth stage is hardening, or we can say that acclimatization. So we will proceed one by one. First of all, first stage is the selection and preparation of mother plant. So first of all, we should know about the mother plant. Mother plant is the plant which is selected for the tissue culture experiment and which having the high commercial value and good characteristics. So our progeny will have that good characteristics. So first of all, we have to select a plant and plant part like a tip, bud, meristem, internode, such as. So selected tissues we have to remove from intact plant in a sterile condition, and we have to take it inside the laboratory. So clean the tissue or stock material that are free from viruses and other diseases for the production of healthy plant. See, if there is a contamination or there is a bacteria or fungus or any other viruses on the selected tissue, it will it will also affect to the progeny. So this collected explant should be healthy one and completely free from viruses, diseases and pests. So likewise, we have to select a healthy explant inside the first step. So stage next stage, that is stage 1, is the initiation of culture. So this is the stage in that we have to inoculate the selected explant inside the tissue culture media, or we can say it is MS media. The small portion of plant tissue are placed on a growth medium or initiation media. So this initiation media having the high source of sucrose as an energy source and one or two plant growth regulator such as benzyl aminopurine, kinetin and 2IP. So these are the cytokinins which enhance the cell growth and leads to the formation of shoots. So this media is thickened with the agar which is extracted from seaweed which is support which will provide the support to the explant during the plant growth. So this photo indicates the inoculation of banana explant which is meristematic part of banana, and this photo will indicate the initiation of culture. We can see the shoot will initiated from the inoculated tissue. So next stage is the multiplication of culture. So we know about the multiplication. So multiplication is nothing but the production of number of plant from a single plant. So increase the number of tissue sample that produce during the first stage. We have to transfer on a multiplication media. So multiplication media contains different types of hormones and plant growth regulator as a NAA plus BAP. So cytokinin in the combination of naphthalic acetic acid will enhance the shoot multiplication inside the micropropagation. So this tissue grows as a small plant called as plantlets are multiply in this stage. So we can see inside the photographs there are number of plants which is initiated from a single plant. We can call it as multiplication. So next stage is the rooting of culture. So we have to form the roots to the well-grown plant. So rooting of plant is likewise the plantlet which is produced many small of shoots. After formation of multiple shoots, these shoots are transferred during the root medium. So rooting media contains high oxygen like IAA and IVA. IAA means indole acetic acid and IVA means indole butyric acid. After the development of roots, plantlet can be used for transplant. So in this photo we can see a well-grown shoots is here and the formed roots we can see at the bottom of bottle. So in this step or stage we have to form a roots to the developed plant. The major role of formation of root is due to the rooting hormone that is indole acetic acid and indole butyric acid. So in the next step we have to harden these plants inside the cocoa peat inside the polyhouse. So hardening is nothing but the preparation of plant to the natural condition or uh, transfer of these in vitro regenerated plants inside the natural condition. We can call it as a hardening. So this hardening is again divided into two subtypes. First one, first is the uh, primary hardening and second one is the secondary hardening. So in this stage, first is the primary hardening. In this stage, proper developed plantlets are transport, transfer from rooting medium to the vermicompost or inside the coco pit. This process is done for the acclimatization of plants. After pre-transplanting, the plants are grown under greenhouse for some days, or it is about the 3 to 4 weeks. So this pre-transplantation, or we can say primary hardening, can done we can do inside the polyhouse or greenhouse. So it will not leads to the higher mortality rate. So there are number of physical factors or environmental factors which are which are uh, controlled inside the polyhouse or greenhouse. So it may temperature, light intensity, and the humidity. So these environmental parameters we have to control inside the polyhouse for low rate of mortality. So it is a pre-hardening in which the seedlings are transferred to an open environment from greenhouse to the encouraging rapid growth. So we can see there are number of plants inside the polyhouse. So post hardening is nothing but the transfer of in vitro regenerated plants inside the polyhouse to the field condition inside the open environment. So this is the post hardening banana plants which are grown by the tissue culture. So there are three methods of this micropropagation. First is the bud culture, second one is the meristem culture, and third one is the internode culture. So we can proceed one by one. First of all, first is the bud culture. We know cultivation of axillary buds is known as bud culture. So we have to select a bud from a plant tissue, sterilize it, and inoculate it on the tissue culture media. After some incubation inside the shooting media, it will lead to the formation of shoot from the bud. We can say it is a direct organogenesis, means formation of organ or shoot from the bud directly without callus. So diseases and viruses free plants can be produced by this method. So next one is the meristem culture. We can see apical meristem is present in the uppermost uh, portion of the plant. So this meristem culture having a great importance to produce a completely virus-free plant. There are many reasons for that. First is the meristem having the high content of auxin, so it will inhibit the multiplication of uh, viruses. Second one is the inside the meristem there is no development of vascular cells or vascular tissues like a xylem and phloem. So viruses cannot enter inside the apical meristem. So this is the important method for virus-free plantlet production. So cultivation of this axillary meristem inside the media and to develop a whole plantlet on this meristem, we can call it as a meristem culture. A disease-free and virus-free plant produced from this method. Next one is the internode culture. We know about the internode. The portion between two buds, we can call it as an internode, which is near about the 5 to 1 millimeter. So cultivation of this internode to produce a whole plantlet, we can call it as a internode culture. So diseases and virus-free plant can be produced from this internode culture. So we will proceed towards the advantages of this micropropagation is likewise. So first is rapid multiplication of plants. So we can produce number of plants from a single micro part of the plant. So Next one is the disease and virus free plant production. So if we select diseases and viruses free X plant and inoculated on the tissue culture media, so we will get the number of plant progeny from this technique, and these all plants are diseases and virus free plants. We can say that. Then there is no seasonal requirement. So this technology is carried out under inside the controlled condition. So there is no any uh, physical factors or environmental factors affect on the growth and development of plant. So each and every environmental factors we have to maintain inside the culture room. So there is no seasonal requirement for the micropropagation. There are required smallest plant part. So there is no need to take a large biomass for production of number of plant. You can take a single cell or single tissue, and from that tissue you can multiply a number of plant at a time. It will produce a genetically identical plant. This is the major advantage of this micropropagation. All the regenerated plants or all the regenerated progeny having the same genetic material. So it will leads to the formation of same plant, and all plants having a same characteristics, all will mature in the same time and will show good characteristics. So with this number of advantages, this technology is good for the farmers. So number of disadvantages also there. First of all, it uh, this technology is highly expensive. We know about that. So that's why we can say this technology is used for high economical valuable this technology is used for those plants which having the high economical value. But then contamination is the major problem because this technology is carried out inside the in vitro condition. So diseases, viruses, or some bacterial or fungal infections are there which will inhibit the growth of plants. So contamination is the major problem, but we can solve it, and it required the skillful labor. So to carry out this technology, we should have some knowledgeable people, also skillful labors. Uh, so this technology will carried out easily. So this is the conclusion we can say. First of all, we have to select a mother plant which having good characteristics. We have to select a plant part such as a internode, bud or meristem culture, meristem for the inoculation. After selection, we have to uh, sterilize it by some chemicals and inoculated inside the tissue culture media, we can say MS media. From this inoculated tissue, plant will initiate, and these initiated plants will have to transfer on a multiplication media. And inside the multiplication media, number of plants will produce from a single plant. And after this well growth of plant, we have to transfer it on the rooting media for development of roots. After rooting, we have to transfer inside the polyhouse or greenhouse on a coco peat or compost for pre-hardening or primary hardening. After 3 to 4 weeks, we have to transfer this well-grown plant on the field inside the open condition, and this will again produce a high yield or better characteristics. So, with this conclusion, can say micropropagation technique is good for farmers, and farmers should uh, use this technology for the high economical value plants. So thank you very much.